Hello, welcome to a part 2 of the Beltane Oracle. Okay, so, been shuffling and this card's popped out. Fire Festival. Through flame and through song, there will rise a new dawn. Okay, so let's have a look and see what Fire Festival is all about in the book. Number 11. Okay, it's called New Perspective. Through flame and through song, there will be a new dawn. Right. A strong blaze is needed at this time to burn away the doubts, fears, and worries you've held within your mind. Fire Festival appears when you are your own worst enemy, when you're the only thing standing in a way of moving towards love, abundance, and joy. Not only are you blocking blessings, but the weight of your stress and anxiety is becoming too much to hold. Your soul is urgently trying to get your attention to let you know you cannot go on as you have. Your worries may be valid, but they are not as bad as they may seem. You're overthinking things, which is causing you additional stress. The answer to your situation is a new perspective and a radical shift in your beliefs. Fire Festival also appears when it may be time to leave your situation. Sometimes you must salvage what remains, while at other times you must burn the bridge and walk away. That's interesting. Okay, so let's do that instead of saying, okay, let's have a look at a spread here. Let's do a, let's do problem solutions and advice, ego, higher self, and spirit guide. Or what is holding you back? What's your greatest strength? And action to find empowerment. Oh, that's good. Okay, in regards to the fire ritual. Okay, so let's go. What is holding me back? Okay, what's holding me back? What's holding me back? Next one was, what's my greatest strength? Whoa! Okay, and then the last one is action to find empowerment. Okay, so we're talking about the fire ritual, okay, so we're talking about that sense of letting things go, moving forward, right? Empowerment. New perspective. Having a new perspective on things, right? So, having a new perspective on things. So, what's actually holding me back? Maypole. I'm fertile in what I seed, for there is reason to dance and drink upon the riches I receive. Okay, so let's have a look and see what the key word is for maypole. Okay, celebration. Celebration is the key word. Don't wait for happiness to find you. You can choose to be happy right now in this moment. So maybe a sense of being happy is sort of holding me back. Maybe I'm not really feeling completely at peace, or there is a happiness that's sort of missing at the moment. And it's understandable with what's going on. Okay, so what's the next one? What's my greatest strength? Sex magic, that's interesting. I draw on my body with an invisible blade, carved with the bliss of lustrous teeth. lustrous something. It is on the allure that I will meet blood and flesh. Oh, that's interesting. Let me have a read of that one properly. That's 38. So let's have a look at 38. Okay, so here we have uninhibited. I draw on my body with an invisible blade, carved with the bliss of teeth. Oh, I see. Carved. I get it now. The invisible blade, carved with the bliss of its teeth. It is in the allure that I will meet blood and flesh. Okay, uninhibited. Among many cultures and for years, women have been forced to deny their sexuality, either through objectification or by the patriarchal system attempting to limit their sexual gratification. Women who did feel free to express their sexuality were judged and exiled, and many were labelled witches as though that was a dirty word. Witches are often thought to be lustful women who gave themselves up to the devil. The imagery is rooted in some truth, but sex magic is a real and useful tool, although it has nothing to do with evil. Also, witches are certainly liberated, be they male or female. Sex magic simply harnesses the creative energy and passion and the restorative energy of orgasm as a way to power your deepest desires. Consider this your initiation. You're being guided to disinhibit your spirit to you may move so that you may move forward as a natural and authentic way. Those who do not understand your freedom are limited by their own self-consciousness and social constraints. Likewise, those who do not support you in acting upon your desires are lashing out for fear of not fulfilling their own. Their lack of freedom attempts to box you in because they are not ready to receive such a gift for themselves. Sad as may be, their lack of enlightenment is not a reason to keep your soul bound in solitary. You find yourself among those who do not support your passion. Now be the time to self-exile and seek more illuminated and open-minded relationships. That's an interesting combination. That's an interesting card to think about. Okay, the last one here was about what actions. Okay, so it was about actions to find empowerment. So what actual action? Wildcat. Be still and tune in, for there is something about lurking alongside you. Something afoot lurking. Or something afoot lurking. Okay, so let's have a look at this. 44. Interesting cards. Okay, danger, it says here. Be still and tune in, for there's something afoot lurking alongside you. There are forces swirling around you that have missed your eye, like a ferocious cat lurking silently in the trees. Someone or something is nearby that does not have your best intentions in mind. Wildcat has appeared in your spirit to warn you that all is not as it seems. You may have felt an unease creeping along your spine, or perhaps you've picked up a sense of danger, but have questioned the validity of what you feel because your eyes are seeing a different picture. Trust in your instincts as in letting you know that something isn't right, even if you don't have proof. Be especially careful of your questions about a specific person. They may be hiding something from you, and whether it's good or bad remains unseen. Be discerning with your time, resources, and information, only sharing what is absolutely necessary and gathering all the information before you make any further decisions. If you've pulled... Oh, no, I didn't do that. Then know the situation. You are sacred. Well, that's quite interesting there when you think about the fire ritual, right? So you've got this moment of interesting. think I need to write these down, because what happens is my brain doesn't hold all the let me just write these keywords down. And I think that's really important when you're doing something like this, new perspective. Okay, so let me just write these keywords down. Okay, the first one is new perspective, right? So it's really about looking at things from a new perspective with the fire ritual. Next we have maypole. Which was celebration. Then we've got sex magic, which was the uninhibited. And then we've got the wildcat, which was danger. So to look at things from a new perspective, so I'm being held back from celebrating who I am, what I'm about, my greatest strengths. Well, that's interesting. My greatest strength is my inhibitions, about being uninhibited, about, I get a sense of freedom. My inner strength is my own freedom, right? And what action is to be aware of danger. It's about trusting who I can let into my life. That's my greatest action that I need to do to be empowered, is to make sure, okay, I get that now. So I look at finding things from a new perspective, right? So that's my whole thing, about trying to find a new perspective, a fresh perspective about what's going on, being able to look at things from a different angle, different thing that's going on. So first thing I do, what's holding me back? I'm not able to celebrate myself fully at this time. I think it's about celebrating my own self in many ways. My greatest strength is my ability to be uninhibited in regards to my sexuality and my identity and who I am, to be able to have that freedom. And now the danger, now I've got to be careful in making sure to be empowered is to be aware of who I give my sexuality to. I think that's part of it. What an interesting reading. Oh, I did not expect that indeed to be part of this. Oh, that's got me some real thoughts into that. Okay, it took me a little moment to sort of get the gist of it all. I had to do a little bit of research, get to know the cards a little bit. Like I say, you've got to dive into the deck. You've got to use the guidebook. I think using the guidebook's important. It's about really getting to know the cards, write up a keyword, have a read of the message, just think about your own intuition into the whole situation, thinking about the cards sort of going together. You're thinking about what's, for me, it's thinking about, okay, how do I gain a new perspective into who I am, what I'm about, who I'm letting into my life. Okay, so it tells me that I'm holding myself back fully in regards to celebrating who I am, right? It feels like I'm not really allowing myself to celebrate myself fully. And a lot of it is to do with that sense of being, my greatest strength is my own sexuality, my own being uninhibited in regards to the way I express myself fully when I'm with someone who I can be fully connected to, right? I'm being really open here. I'm being quite vulnerable in sharing this information with you. Okay, so I have this sense of I need to be very aware of who is sort of lurking around me, who I sort of let into my life. That's the biggest thing. When you're talking about sexuality and things like that, it's very important to be very aware of who you let into your life sexually and who you connect with fully. Wow. And it's about looking at things from a fresh perspective, looking at things maybe a little differently than I may have in the past. I think that's quite important, looking at things from different angles, different perspectives, looking at different options that are available to me as an individual. Whew, that's got me into some really deep thinking here, really thought-provoking ideas or questions in regards to who I am and what I'm about and who I let into my life on many levels. Very, very interesting indeed. What an interesting start to this exploration of this deck. Okay, so that's it from me for today. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and blessings.